This video covers the first part of session 2.2 and tutorial 2. Specifically, I'm going to look at cell styles and formatting the information in the worksheet as an Excel table. So I'm going to start out on the yearly sales worksheet, and I'm going to add some cell formatting. And so the cell styles are over here in the styles group on the ribbon, and if I click the more button I can see all of the cell styles, and you can see there's colors for each one of the theme colors in this particular theme, and some different cell styles like bad and good, and check cell and linked cell, and so forth. So since this is the heading, I'm going to change this to the heading 1 style. So it's just a quick way of doing formatting, which is kind of nice. The next thing I'm going to do is select cells B6 through F6 and B17 through F17, which are the column titles, and I'm going to apply the accent 1 cell style to these. So if I click the more button on the cell styles, you'll see that accent 1 is the blue color, and I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Then I'm going to select E7 through F15, and also E18 through F26, and I'm going to apply the 20% accent 1 style to those cells to highlight the increase and the percent of increase. Okay. So in class last week I talked a little bit about themes in Office documents, and so I'm going to take just a quick look at themes here before I move on to tables. The themes are on the page layout tab in the themes group, and Excel comes with a number of built-in themes like adjacency and angles and composite and elemental, and you can see as I'm hovering over these different themes I get different colors and fonts and so forth. So that's what themes are. So you can use a built-in theme. If you find a theme where you like the fonts but the colors really aren't doing much for you, you've got all of the theme colors over here. So you could use, for example, an elemental theme but use the composite colors if you liked those. And the same goes for the fonts. I might like the colors in the adjacency theme but not care for the fonts, so then I could choose, for example, the Apex fonts. And once you have a theme figured out that you really like, you can also save those and use them repeatedly and share them with other people in your office. And your textbook has more information about that, and there is actually a tutorial later on, I think in 170, where you create a theme and save it. Let's go ahead and switch to the monthly sales worksheet, and you'll see that I've already done some formatting in this worksheet, and I've done the formulas in this worksheet because I want to focus on the tables right now. So I'm going to click back on my Home tab, and the first thing that I want to do is select B6 through K19, which is the units sold in 2011 information. Once I've done that, I'm going to come up here to the Styles group again and click Format as Table. And what that does is it opens up all of these table styles that I can choose from. And so for right now, I want to select Table Style Medium 2, which is the second table style in the first row in the medium group. So now you'll see that that information I selected before has a marquee border around it, and I've got this little dialog box. And I want to do two things here. I want to check and make sure that this range is the range of the table that I want to create. And second, I want to check and make sure my table has headers is checked, because I do have headers on my columns and my rows. And I'm going to click OK. And there my table is all formatted. Before I do anything else, you've probably noticed these little down arrows here. And we're not going to use those today. Those give you the ability to manipulate the data in the table. You can sort it so it's in alphabetical order or ascending order or whatnot. And you can also filter it so that you can look at specific information while the rest of it isn't showing. But for right now, we're not going to use that. So I'm going to have you click on the Data tab, and then you'll click Filter to remove those filter arrows from the table. Okay, so you might have noticed already that when you created this table, you've now got a new tab on the ribbon. It's the Table Tools Design. And so I'm going to have you click on that. And there's there's a number of things that you can do here. For right now, we're just going to concentrate on the table style options. So you'll notice that header row and banded rows are now checked. And so that means the header row is formatted differently from the rest of the table, and the colors alternate on the rows. So we're going to change that a little bit. I'm going to click on last column because I want that to be highlighted as well, or to stand out. And then I'm going to remove the banded rows. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a different table style. So I'm just going to click the More arrow on the table styles. And I want to change to table style medium 20. Which, oh boy, I got it on the first shot there. So there's table style medium 20. Then I'm just going to do a few more formatting things. I'm going to select C6 through K6, which is the column titles. And I'm going to go ahead and center those. And then I'm going to select the total row. And here's something that's kind of neat when you create a table. If you'll notice, when I moved into the left edge of the total row here, my mouse pointer changed to a dark black arrow, skinny arrow. So if I click right now, it just selects that whole row for me, and I don't have to click and drag. So what I'm going to do with that row is I'm going to click the down arrow on the table or on the cell styles, and I'm going to apply the total cell style. And so that if I click up here in A3, I can see all of the formatting changes that were made. So I've got the centered column titles, I've got the total formatting and the total formatting here. So that completes my table formatting for the units sold in 2012 table. The next thing that I would do if I were continuing on here, I'm not going to format both of these tables, but what I would want to do is repeat those steps that I just took to create this first table on the units sold in 2012 and the net increase table. So that covers cell styles and table formatting.